Nicole Savage is the daughter of Brandon and Cheryl Savage. Born in Provo, Utah, she is the second of 8 children. In her 4 years of high school, Nicole participated in a wide assortment of clubs, from the Lightsaber Guild and Scholars Bowl to forensics. She has also had the pleasure of being Thespian president, mime and improv leader, and SADS co-vice president. Nicole is a state-qualified impromptu speaker, nationally qualified in humorous interpretation, and an internationally recognized honored thespian. Post-graduation, Nicole plans to attend Brigham Young University, pursuing either a STEM-based engineering field or theater technology. Please welcome Nicole.
Congratulations, graduates of 2021. We're here. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. It took us, give or take, 18 years, a couple of critical cases of senioritis, and a global pandemic, but we've made it. Personally, I'd like to thank a few people who have helped getting me to where I am now. First, I'd like to thank my parents who raised me. I think they've done a pretty snazzy job. I'd also like to thank my siblings who taught me humility and patience, or tried to. I'm still working on that. I'd also like to thank my friends because they've definitely influenced me into who I've become today. And we've also had some pretty spectacular teachers, a lot more than I was expecting, and they've guided us here to where we are. So, what's next? We kind of have to decide, don't we? As we go forward with our life, we're going to face decisions and decisions and decisions. It's a bit daunting. We hold in our hands agency, the power to choose, to act or be acted upon. And you see, the thing is we need to be aware as we make all of these decisions of where we want to end up and how we can prepare and how our choices influence others. A few weeks ago, we woke up to a winter wonderland of a surprise. It was the middle of April, and snow blanketed the ground. As I was walking into school that day, I reached down and touched the snow and realized that it was perfect snowman snow. The kind that you can pack together into a ball and then roll into a larger snowball. And so as I was waiting in the commons for the bell to ring, I was lamenting the fact that I hadn't built a snowman all year. And then I realized something. I could make a snowman right then and right there. You see, the doors to the courtyard are unlocked in the morning before school, and I still had 10 minutes before I had to get to class. So I did what any sane high schooler would do. I went outside and I built a snowman. I put him on one of those tables facing the window, and I went and foraged under the tree to find some sticks and some stones to give him buttons and a smile. And the bell rang, and I ran happily to class. You see, in Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland, Alice comes to a fork in the road. Not knowing which direction to take, she asked the Cheshire Cat, who I'm sure was grinning, when he asked her, well, where do you want to go? Alice didn't know. And so the Cheshire Cat said that it didn't matter where she went. You see, picking our destination is the step before the first step. You can't really begin to go anywhere until you choose which direction you're heading. If you're going on a road trip, it's kind of important to know whether you're going north or south. If you end up in Canada when you were planning to go on a cruise in the Gulf of Mexico, that's going to put a bit of a wrench into your vacation plans. So, what destination do we want? In my snowman example, I wanted to be happy, and I accomplished that by building a snowman. Do you want to be happy? Satisfied? Successful? Rich? Have a family? Get that dream job? Maybe. Maybe not. Obviously, we're all going to have different destinations in our lives, but there's the possibility that sometimes we're going to have similar ones. Or maybe we'll have even the exact same directions to travel. And that's okay. There's a million ways for us to travel to Maine. So our identical destinations don't mean that we're all going to be in the same vehicle or the same road or even traveling at the same speed. And it's important to remember that the goals we set are not our destinations. You see, the goals are our means of travel. They're the Sharpie circle pit stops, the highlighted highways, and the recalculated routes that get us to where we want to go. You see, goals are the steps we plan ahead of time, or the changes that we make in the moment that lead us to our destinations. And that preparation is important. Why? Because cold, wet fingers don't make me happy. If I had planned out my day and knew I was going to build a snowman, I would have brought gloves. But that's not my point. Yes, it's great to be physically prepared, but we also need to be mentally prepared. I am 18 years old, a legal adult. And I may not know much, but I know that if you build a snowman with your bare hands, it will be cold and uncomfortable. And that's okay. You see, thinking that through and realizing the cons of making a snowman makes me better prepared for the consequences of my actions. If I hadn't thought of that beforehand, reaching out to touch the icy cold snow would have maybe dissuaded me from building the snowman that made me happy. Analyzing the costs of life road trip will help us prepare to forge onwards. Preparation for the future begins now. Life is a constant battle of balance between past you, current you, and future you. You see, we will have to sacrifice some things in the now to set future up for success. But following that philosophy, that means past us has sacrificed so current us can also find happiness. We shouldn't throw away our futures by only focusing on the now, but we also shouldn't throw away the now by only preparing for our futures. You see, we can only make decisions based on the knowledge that we have, the scope of our emotions, and if you're religious, the extent of your faith. What's important is that we make the best decisions that will help future us find happiness, but also help current us find happiness. Every choice we make affects others. And I can assure you that when I was building my snowman, I wasn't really thinking about anyone else. I was very caught up in the creation and joy of my snowman. But afterwards, I saw people taking pictures or talking about it in the hallways, and I saw how this mysterious snowman affected everyone else's lives, and that made me happy. But the happiest moment of that day wasn't when I built a snowman or when I heard those conversations. It was when I came back after class and I noticed that someone, I still have no idea who it was, put a pink hat on my snowman. Someone decided to add on to something that I already created, and it just brought me joy, and that gesture is going to stay with me. Every choice I've made and every choice of those around me has led me here, and the same goes for you. As we travel on with our lives, we need to look for where we want to go, and then choose a path, and then change our minds. Because we will change paths. We will lose paths. We will walk well-worn trails, and we will take paths less traveled by, and sometimes we will forge new ones. And it's true that sometimes we'll be walking these paths alone. But we're all wandering in the same wonderland, whether it's a winter wonderland or Alice's Wonderland, and so when we run into each other, we can help each other out. This moment is perfectly unique, like so many others, and the bittersweet memories and emotions that I'm feeling can only be encapsulated by the lyrics from a song from the musical Wicked. It well may be that we will never meet again in this lifetime. So let me say before we part, so much of me is made from what I learned from you. And you'll be with me, like a handprint on my heart. And now, whatever way our stories end, I know you'll have rewritten mine by being my friend. I like to think that I've impacted others for the better, but I can only really speak for myself. And in my experience, we're all stars in a galaxy. And even on the darkest of the nights, it's a light from my friends, my family, my teachers, that has traveled billions and billions of light years just to make my night sky all the more beautiful. And it's that light that makes me happy that I have the opportunity to make others happy, whether it's by a snowman or a smile. So I want to thank you all, and I want to wish you all a snazzy life and a snazzy road trip ahead of you, because we're all going to go off to our various destinations in our lives. Thank you and good luck.